Good morning, everybody, or whatever time it is for you. Welcome to the show today. Those of you guys who don't know, I go by the name of Brian, and today I want to take you on a food tour of the must-hit spots when you're up in Hanoi, for your eyes only. We're doing the 9 best dishes to have in Hanoi today, and because food in Vietnam is very regional, we're sticking with the ones that either originated or are specialized here in the north. We're fighting through that rush hour traffic, and the first thing we're gonna get is something that most Hanoians have for breakfast. It's Bun Cha. This is the northern version of the more popular Bum Thit Nung. The difference is, the northern style is served deconstructed with the sauce on the side and you dip everything together. Definitely one of my most favorite meals up in Hanoi, and you have to get this if you're coming up to the city. Right here you got the charcoal grilled pork patties with the betel leaf, really amazing. And then pork belly, or bacon as us North Americans know it. And then this broth is just like fish sauce with a little sugar, vinegar, chilies, garlic. Really great aroma to it. So you want to take your noodles and get it into your broth. Grab a piece of pork there. Grab some herbs on the side. Get yourself a full-on bite. That to me right there is Vietnam in a bowl. Grilled smokiness of meat, fish sauce, briny, salty umami, and then the fresh noodles in there, and the freshness of the herbs. Can't beat that. Perfectly grilled, smoky barbecue meat. Yum. Oh, wow. You saw where they were grilling it up? Smoke's coming out of there. It's real charcoal. It's delicious. And then as a side with your Bun Cha, you always have to get some Nam, some crispy fried spring rolls. Cha ya, but in the north they call it Nam. Make sure you dip your Nam in the sauce as well. Oh yeah. Whew, really hot. Should have waited before I put it in my mouth, but when they come fresh out the fryer, I can't resist. They're so good. Really awesome spring rolls, super crispy on the outside, middle, porky goodness. Dipped in the fish sauce, heaven. Next we're hitting up this little spot that serves up a specialty from Hai Phong, a coastal town in the northern region of Vietnam here. There's many different components to this amazing noodle dish, but the standout is the field patty crab meat. And this little hole-in-the-wall spot does it really well. This awesome dish is called Banh Cuon, and you can get it dry or in a broth soup version. I got mine in the soup version today, but the dry one is equally as good. This is what it's all about right here. The rice patty mud crabs that they mash up and then boil to extract the meat. This stuff is just so rich and delicious. It's kind of like lobster roe. This is really what the bowl is all about here. Huge crab flavor. That's all it is. It's a punch of crab flavor. So delicious. This bowl is just stacked with noodles and tofu and amazing beef, and the broth is just this amazing deep essence of crab. Oh yeah. So good. You're gonna love these noodles. They're really different from all the other noodles that you're gonna get in Vietnam. They got a nice firmer, chewy texture to them, similar to like an al dente pasta. Really tasty. The broth, this essence of crab with like smokiness and sweetness from like fried shallots, a light little hint of tomato throughout. Really tasty. This is a really great bowl. Great for any time of the day. They're open in the morning, all the way to the night. This little house-made pork patty as well, infused with dill. Oh. Great little texture to it. The dill permeates throughout the meat. So good. And then for all you who like it spicy, they make their own little hot sauce here. Chili oil. And this, if you like it spicy, wow. The flavor in it. Oh, it's good heat to it, but a nice smokiness from the charred peppers as well. Definitely have to try this when you're in Hanoi. 3 types of noodles, the crab, 2 different ways, dry or wet, 2 prices. All right guys, next I'm taking you down this alley, which I've been told is the holy grail of food alleys in Hanoi. We're gonna get a couple of really good dishes in there, okay? This is such a vibrant alley, you could pretty much spend a whole day eating in it. There's a pretty good pho joint right there, and you're literally sharing this alley with motorbikes. Ladies selling fresh produce, and all the way to the end of the alley is this little unassuming shop selling the best fried fish dill soup. They also do this crispy fried fish roll stuffed with a little pork and wood ear mushrooms. Another really great Hanoi specialty here. This little stall only does one thing, and they do it well. Right around the old quarter near the lake, great walking distance from any hotel. Pineapple, morning glory, sprouts, noodles, and then awesome pieces of really crispy fried fish, all in a little tomato dill broth. Guys, I always like to try my broth pure and clean before I add anything to it. Oh yeah, really nice mellow tomato flavored broth, really strong flavor of dill in there, it's really pronounced, and then sweetness from pineapples. So good. Oh my god. Definitely gonna go in with a little vinegar garlic. And maybe a touch of their, wow, look at this, homemade chili hot sauce oil. Yikes. All right, this next bite. Crispy fish, noodles. We're going full on. That is so good. That broth is so flavorful. That dill, amazing. That fish, though it's sitting in the broth, it is fried crispy. It's still crispy. So good, so crunchy. Definitely a must hit when you're in Hanoi. All right, let's get into this guy right here. This is a specialty you can only get at this shop. I've never even seen or heard of this anywhere else. Dip it into your fish sauce. That is so good. Crispy fried fish on the outside, and then inside, little porky goodness. So tasty. This crispy fish, that's where it's at though. And I'm sorry, but I love pineapple in any type of soup. It just makes it so good. That is my ultimate bite right there. How the fish stays crispy in the soup is the amazing part. Guys, in the same alley, you're gonna get the most amazing bowl of goose noodles you've had in your life. Crispy fish noodle soup down there, and then right here, goose noodles. This bowl is stacked with goodness right here. Look at this goose meat. And then some pork patties as well. Pork meatballs. Bamboo shoots. Lots of good nudes. A nice little garlic, lime, chili with some essence of the duck broth dipping sauce. Yum. This goose is definitely something you gotta put on your list to try. Get it dipped in here. Oh yeah. Pull apart tender. Oh my god. And then when you dip it in that garlic chili lime, perfect. I'm gonna go in on this broth there too. Broth is a really nice, mellow, clean broth. Really good flavor of like duck in there, and you get the bamboo shoots coming through. What people line up here for though. Goose meat. Pro tip, if you're gonna try this place out, come early because they line up and they sell out. And I just found it tucked away in my bowl here. This right here, guys, goose blood pudding. Sounds kind of weird, but you know what? Delicious. Don't be afraid to try it. It's amazing. texture of like a more firm jello or a very firm tofu. And the flavor, it's kind of like has a little goose chickeny flavor to it. And it's not very strong, no irony taste, no liver. Definitely give it a go, really good. And for you spice lovers in Vietnam here, almost every place does their own little homemade hot sauce. This one's like a vinegary hot one. Most dishes don't come too spicy, so you can spice it up as much or as little as you want. It's up to you. Don't be afraid. Definitely one of my favorite spots to eat in Hanoi, although you could probably say that about every spot that we're gonna go to today. So good. This next one is just a short motorbike away on the outskirts of the old quarter. Serving up one of my most favorite dishes, a little steamed rice paper crepe called Banh Cuon. Classically, it's stuffed with pork and wood-ear mushrooms, although you can get a chicken variety as well. And these girls just pump it out from morning to night here. This used to be a street side stall and they've expanded to have a nice little comfortable inside. I also like to call it a Vietnamese ravioli. They're delicious. Banh Cuon. This dish is probably my #1 requested dish when my mom comes to visit me. Childhood favorite growing up. And it's a little complicated to make at home, but like I said, when you're in Vietnam, get your fill in. Little pockets of Vietnamese ravioli goodness. Make sure you dunk it into your fish sauce. Perfect for breakfast or dinner or a snack, anytime. Delicious rice paper roll that's been steamed with the savory pork and wood-ear mushroom filling, crispy fried shallots for that sweetness, and then you get that umami from the fish sauce. Wow. This is definitely one of my most favorite dishes. Favorite Vietnamese dishes, for sure. And then you should always get it with a side of this roasted cinnamon pork ham. Really delicious. Definitely like dipping mine. Oh yeah. Really good pork flavor texture. And the cinnamon is really pronounced in it. So tasty. I always leave here so happy and so full, and I can't wait for my next time coming back here. This is my #1 sleeper dish in all of Hanoi. A classic chicken noodle soup that has been forgotten over time. This little hole in the wall spot right in the heart of the old quarter serves up this amazing dish. It used to be a really fancy dish because all the components needed to make this dish, well, you know, back in the day, poor people couldn't afford that. So if you were eating this, you were balling out. Chicken, egg, ham, green onions, slow simmered chicken broth, noodles, mushrooms, shredded bamboo. Bun Tang is an older style dish that I remember my mom making only on special occasions growing up, because to make it, there's so many components to it that it's a big, big process. But you can get really good ones on the street here in Hanoi, and I'm literally right across from the Sword Lake, Ho Kim Lake, right in the middle of the old quarter here. In theory, the dish looks simple enough, but all the components need to be cooked perfectly at their own time, and then when it's all put together, balances out the dish beautifully. So it's not just a chicken noodle soup, it is a very G'd up, complex chicken noodle soup. Oh yeah, I'll get a chicken, poached chicken, egg, noodle bite right there. Perfectly poached chicken, still juicy, tender, pull apart tender. The egg omelet is cooked perfectly, sliced thinly. It's not rubbery or chewy, it's still very fluffy and airy. And this broth is just like the deepest, richest chicken noodle soup you've ever tasted before. Just permeating with those bones that have been simmering for long, slow hours. So good. I feel like this dish is definitely one of those dishes that could be easily missed or overlooked when you're visiting Hanoi, but it shouldn't be, because when you're traveling, this chicken noodle soup is gonna hit all the comfort spots you need for your soul when you're missing home, whether it's hot out or it's cold. Definitely one of my sleeper dishes in Hanoi, but don't sleep on it. Definitely hit it up. This next dish is a really simple dish, but sometimes simplicity is best. It's nothing more than sticky rice served with some slow braised meats. You can get some shaved yellow mung beans on your sticky rice. We have some stewed hams and house-made pate. One of my comfort dishes as a Vietnamese Canadian when I'm not feeling good or whatever, I eat a bowl of this and it's just like kind of like our soul food, you know, it like takes care of me. A small lineup usually can get way longer than that. Okay, so I totally took my sticky rice to go, and I'm sitting at a local coffee shop now, just because it's a little bit more comfortable, and I wanted a coffee. This is what the to-go looks like here. Yes, look at that. House-made pate right there. Some mung beans, crispy fried shallots, some pork belly, which is basically the same area as where bacon comes from, and then underneath, right here, the sticky rice. This is a really like awesome filling cheap meal. Get a little bite right there with some pork pate. Oh wow, so good. That's like I said, it's soul food, comfort food for me, right? We'll get the braised pork and a little soy or sticky rice, you want to call it, here as well. Oh yeah, braised low and slow, so it's pull apart tender. It's full of like soy and brown sugar flavor. It works so well with the neutral balance of the sticky rice, and then the crispy fried shallot gives a smoky like sweetness to it. Oh, so amazing. They have so many other different combinations you can do too. You can do white sticky rice, you can do shredded chicken, you can do Chinese sausage, anything you want. So good. Definitely gonna have to hop on a motorbike for this next dish, but it's gonna be well worth it. I do it every time. What's a top 9 in Hanoi without your favorite pho joint? And this place does the best. They specialize in a smoky, wok-seared beef pho. Pho tin. Loaded with green onions and cilantro, smoky wok-seared beef, and the fresh pho noodles. Definitely my favorite pho joint in all of Hanoi. Absolutely my most favorite pho joint in all of Hanoi. It is jam-packed right in here, locals only. I always like to taste my broth before I season it. Oh wow. Really good today. It gets a nice smoky flavor from the wok-seared beef that they only do here. I always love a little lime in there. And if you guys follow the channel, I'm a double lime life type of guy. Their homemade hot sauce here, so good. Similar to a creamy Frank's Red Hot. It's a little vinegary, a little smoky. Getting a full-on beefy noodle bite. Green onions. Yeah. Yeah. Look at this. When your bowl has the fat little circles like that, you know it's a good broth. Basically, that's got to be your first stop and maybe even your fourth stop. This place right here, a bowl of pho. So good. Wok-seared, you've never had something like it before. For the last spot on my list, you definitely have to hop on a little bike and get outside of the old quarter. You're heading into a part of town where it's mainly locals. And you're getting a specialty dish that originated in Hanoi and you can pretty much only find in Hanoi. Banh Cuon. Rice paper rolls with faux spice infused beef and fresher herbs. I had never heard of Banh Cuon until I came to Hanoi, and the first time I tried it, I wasn't blown away, but the second time I went to this spot and it blew my mind. Something so simple yet so tasty. Worth it to make your way out of the old quarter on a short little trip to come in this little street and try it out. This is a long street and you're gonna come down this way, and on both sides they'll be selling it, but you wanna come all the way to the end and you wanna go with this one, because this is the spot. In the evening, this area is just packed with families putting down these amazing little rolls with beef inside. Rice paper rolls similar to the Banh Cuon we had today, except a little bit more pliable. And then inside, beef and some cilantro and other herbs dipped into a little fish sauce. Yeah. Such an awesome little treat. Simple, but so satisfying. Beautiful little snack or a meal if you get more. All the flavors of Vietnam right there. Nice little rice roll, beefy goodness, and then the fish sauce. So delicious. They also have something else here called Pho Chiên Phom, which I highly recommend you getting. I'm just not getting it this time because I don't have room in my stomach. But here's a link, check it out, delicious stuff. I just don't think you can make a trip to Hanoi without trying some pho cuon out. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me today for the must-have 9 dishes in Hanoi, Vietnam. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment below, tell me what you think, and if you haven't yet, like, share, and subscribe, alright? This has been For Your Eyes Only.